Hello, friends, and welcome back to TJKidz Super Fun Stories, where imagination becomes reality. Today, we've got another Cattective adventure. And if this is your first one, brace yourself. Sprinkles the Cattective is absolutely convinced he's the greatest crime solver in the history of, well, everything. Sure, he looks like a cute little kitty in a detective outfit, but trust me, he takes his cases very seriously. Let's find out what mystery he's tackling today. So grab a comfy spot, get cozy, and join me on this adventure. The Cattective, in the case of the missing homework. Trevor woke up excited for school. He grabbed his backpack and walked over to the kitchen table for breakfast. But when he looked at the table, he noticed something was missing. His math homework was gone. "Mom," he shouted, "my homework is missing." Mom walked over with some eggs on a plate. "I'm sure it's here somewhere in the house, sweetheart. Eat your breakfast. I need to shower before taking you two to school." Just then, Gracie walked into the kitchen and helped herself to a bowl of cereal. "Where is my homework?" Trevor demanded. "Why would I know?" Gracie shrugged. "It's your homework. Sounds like that's your problem." "You asked to borrow some paper last night," Trevor shouted. "You were mad I didn't give you any, and I know you took my homework. It was right here." "Seriously?" Gracie responded. "Just because you were rude and didn't give me paper doesn't mean I—" Just then, there was a soft tapping on the front door. "Did you hear that?" Trevor asked. "Yeah," Gracie said. "It sounded like the front door." She walked over and peeked out the window. "Aww," she squealed. "There's a cute little kitty out there dressed up in a detective costume. You have to see it." "Huh?" Trevor said as he opened the door. Sure enough, standing on the porch was a small gray cat with black spots, a detective hat, and a tiny coat. The cat walked right in on his hind paws like he owned the place. "Sure, come right in," Trevor said sarcastically. "Listen up," the cat announced. "We have an active crime scene on our hands, and time is of the essence. I'm going to need your full cooperation." Gracie walked over, her eyes wide. "Oh my goodness, did you just talk? That's the cutest thing I've ever seen." "Ma'am," said the cat, "I don't do cute, I do crime. Now." "Okay, you're a talking cat in a detective costume?" Trevor interrupted. "I mean, who are you supposed to be, little kitty? And what are you doing in our house?" "First, I ain't no kitty," the cat responded. "I'm a cattective. Sprinkles the Cattective." He handed them each an identification card with his name and picture on it. "Second, I already told you, I've got an active crime scene here." He flipped open his notebook. "Now, I'm going to need to take your statements, but first, I'm going to need a couple of things. Tuna in a porcelain dish, and milk. Warm, not hot. Warm." "Sure. Anything else, Your Majesty?" Trevor said. "I'll get it," Gracie replied, opening the fridge. She set out some tuna and warmed milk. "Thank you, ma'am," Sprinkles said. Then he paused to rapidly lap up the milk. He wiped his whiskers, flipped open his notebook again, and said, "All right, it appears we have a case of some missing homework. Now—" "How do you even know that?" Trevor interrupted. "I told you, I'm a catective, Sprinkles replied. It's what I do. It's in my blood. Now pay attention. I'm going to ask a few questions and take statements from the both of yous and whoever else is in the house. But I just want my homework back, Trevor complained. I have to leave for school soon. And I want a vacation home in Maui, Sprinkles responded. We don't always get what we want. He pointed his pen at Trevor. Since you like talking so much, I'm going to start with you. When was the last time you saw this supposed homework? Trevor rolled his eyes. Is this really happening? I'm being interrogated by a talking cat? Catective, Sprinkles corrected. Now answer the question. Whatever, Trevor said. I saw it last night when I completed it. I left it on the kitchen table, and my sister was right here asking to borrow paper. Slow down, Sprinkles interrupted. We'll get to that. What type of homework was it? Math, Trevor responded. Multiplication. Sure it was, Sprinkles replied. And you completed this supposed homework that magically disappeared? Yes, Trevor snapped. I already told you. Quick, what's 3 times 3? Sprinkles interrupted. Trevor opened his mouth, but Sprinkles cut him off again. 7 times 7. Then Trevor blurted out, 9. 7 times 7 is 49, Sprinkles said. See, I'm already doing multiplication better than you, and I didn't even have homework. Trevor tried to explain, but Save it, Sprinkles cut him off. You'll have a closing statement later. He scribbled something in his notebook. Subject claims homework completion. Confidence level questionable. Then Sprinkles turned to Gracie. And you, ma'am? Where were you when this supposed homework was being completed? Well, Gracie responded, I was trying to draw, but Trevor wouldn't share any paper with me. Sprinkles responded. Then he wrote in his notebook, Gracie, older sibling, motive, artistic frustration, opportunity, high. I didn't take it, Gracie snapped. You asked for paper. He refused. Classic motive, Sprinkles replied. But Save it for your closing statement. Now, if you'll excuse me. Sprinkles walked over to the family dog, who was lying on his bed. He looked him up and down. He said. Suspicious panting, he wrote in his notebook. Really? Said Trevor. He's literally just breathing. Exactly, replied Sprinkles, suspiciously. Sprinkles snapped his notebook shut. All right, who else is in the house? I'm going to need statements from everyone. Our mom is upstairs in the shower, Gracie answered. But she kind of hates cats, and our dad took our little sister Maggie to daycare. Sister? Sprinkles asked. Then he looked up. Some paper snowflakes hung from the ceiling. And whose handiwork is this? He asked, pointing at the snowflakes. That's definitely Maggie, Trevor said. She's always making those, but she's only 4. She wouldn't take my homework. Sprinkles dropped to the floor, sniffing intensely. He pulled out his magnifying glass. He said. He picked up a tiny shard of paper. Are there normally numbers on her snowflakes? He asked. Don't answer. That's rhetorical. He followed a trail of tiny paper bits down the hall. Whose room is this? He asked. That's Maggie's, Gracie said. Sprinkles kept following the trail to a little chest. He opened it. Bingo! He held up a cut-out paper snowflake. Here's the missing homework, Sprinkles confirmed confidently. It can't be, Trevor responded. How do you even know that's my homework? Sprinkles held the snowflake in front of Trevor's face. Do you see these numbers here? 3 times 4? The answer is cut off, so we'll just assume you probably didn't know that one. The answer is 7. No, it's not, Trevor replied. It's 12. My work is done here, Sprinkles interrupted. Case closed. What? Trevor shouted. That can't be it. Maggie used my math homework to make a paper snowflake. What do we do? Kid, I'm a catective, not a therapist, Sprinkles responded. I solve crimes, not family disputes. You're welcome. He tipped his hat and strutted out the front door like he'd just solved the greatest mystery in the history of mysteries. Later that morning, Trevor handed the snowflake to his teacher. She held it up, turning it slowly in her hands. What is this? She asked. Trevor shrugged. Well, it depends on who you ask. I say it's my math homework. My little sister would say it's her art project. The teacher stared at it for a moment. I'm not sure whether to grade it or hang it from the ceiling. They both laughed. Well, his teacher added, next time, maybe put it in a safe place when you finish. The end. And that is the end of our story, friends. Wow, Sprinkles really thinks he's pretty great, huh? Well, to be fair, he is pretty good at solving mysteries, just in his own very unique, very dramatic way. And that leads me to a moral I learned from today's adventure. If something is important to you, like your homework or maybe a favorite toy, make sure you keep it in a safe place and put it away responsibly so nothing happens to it. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening today. And parents, if you enjoy these stories or listen regularly, I'd really appreciate a follow on the channel. And reviews are always appreciated. It helps our stories become more visible for other kids who might love them too. Well, that's it for today, friends. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one. Toodles!